Is Rogue One a Star Wars story, a political statement? There have been hashtags trending around the internet, including Dump Star Wars, saying that this is propaganda, anti-Trump propaganda, feminist propaganda. And now there's an official statement from ostensibly the boss of this whole situation, but is he wrong? Let's get into it. So we have Bob Iger, who's the Disney CEO, saying, I have no reaction to this story at all. Frankly, this is a film that the world should enjoy. It is not a film that is in any way a political film. There are no political statements in it at all. And to that, I would strongly disagree, because we are living in a climate now where it is a political statement to say, hey, we oppose what is essentially white supremacy. We oppose hate-filled, horrible people. And I think Star Wars has always been a very black and white story of, you know who the good guy is and you know who the bad guy is. And if we go back into it, and maybe I'll bring up some more examples later, it has always shown the Imperial side to be pretty much a stand-in for the Third Reich. And that is it shouldn't be a political statement, but it is a political statement.
I think, as someone who grew up with Star Wars.
And worked for Star Wars.
And worked for Lucasfilm on Star Wars. It is very close to my heart. But when you do take a step back and you look at stormtroopers and the color of the Imperial wardrobe, just from a costuming standpoint alone, it implies all of this imagery that, we associate with evil.
And it's not just us. Costume designer John Mollo said his directive for the Empire's uniforms, he said, first of all, he wanted the Imperial officers to look totally efficient, totalitarian, fascist, and the rebels to look like something out of a Western or the U.S. Marines.
Yeah, like ragtag versus, the Empire that has all of these incredible resources. Mm-hmm. But it does seem to me that they're trying to take something that has been put out there and co-opt it for the people who put the statement out, the alt-right, that they're trying to co-opt this and in the process get some publicity.
They did this with episode 7 as well, where it was like, oh, there's propaganda because the lead character is a woman and the other lead character is a black man. And part of me wants to say this is stupid and dismiss it, but I feel like I'm in a political climate now where I have to outright say, no, this is garbage and I oppose it, and go ahead and dump Star Wars if you are a white supremacist. I don't want to sit next to you in the theater, and I don't want you taking up all the tickets because I'm going to buy them all. I'm going to revel in it.
Well said, Kim, well said.
But it's just, I think it's silly to say that there's no political statement there. There's clearly a political statement. Star Wars has always been a political statement. George Lucas himself has gone on the record. In 1981, he said on Palpatine that he was a politician. Richard M. Nixon was his name. He subverted the Senate and finally took over and became an imperial guy. And he was really evil, but he was pretending to be a really nice guy. And then we also have, in the prequels, we clearly have Padme looking out upon the Senate and saying the very famous line, "This is how liberty dies," with thundering applause. Lucas talked about that as well, saying that was the story of Caesar, Napoleon, Hitler. So I think it's crazy to say that, in particular, I think Rogue One certainly does fall in line with this ethos, which is, there is a good and there is an evil. This is one of the very clear franchises that doesn't have a lot of gray area.
No, and it's in essence, it's always been a very simple story of this ragtag band of rebels fighting against this giant evil, and it has been a political story right from the start. I think that Bob Iger's statement may be more accurate in that it's not intended to reflect current
It shouldn't
politics.
be a political statement.
Yeah.
But currently, it kind of
is.
is. It kind of has to be.
Yeah.
And I think...
And it always has been.
Well, I think at this point, you do have to stand up and say, no, this is wrong. I'm not normalizing this. And you have to make it a statement at this point. And it shouldn't be this way. It's silly it's gotten this way. But it's silly to say that there is no political statement here and that you're only just now realizing that Star Wars does have grounded roots in reality, at least, from an ideological point of view. Imperials were always the Third Reich. Audience, do you think there is a clear message in Star Wars or not? Please let us know below in the comments, and please like and subscribe for more.